Welcome to the Griffin's Pipeline Podcast.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Jonatan Berggren getting his first hat trick, and the race for first place is on. I'm Connor Acker.
And I'm Kyle Acker. Welcome to the Pipeline Podcast.
Yeah, so Costa streak continues, and the home streak also continues.
Yeah, we got a couple players made their debuts the last couple games, and Berggren played his 300th game.
Yeah, a couple other things. We'll obviously go over the games. We'll do some division standings. And we got a little prospect review for you. So let's get going on those games, man.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So on Friday, March 29th, the Grand Rapids Griffins played the Chicago Wolves at the Allstate Arena. The goalies were, for Grand Rapids, we had Michael Hutchison, and in Chicago, they had Keith Kincaid. Chicago's trying to stay alive. They're just about eliminated. So we'll definitely let you know when they are.
And Riley Sawchuk makes his debut for the Griffins this year.
So for the goals in the first period, Riley Sawchuk gets his first goal.
Yeah, it's a great breakaway pass. Literally buries it right into the crossbar and it goes in the net. 8 seconds later, Griffins win the faceoff. Bureau comes down, fakes a shot over to Luff, gets the pass over to Luff, and then Luff fires it in for the second goal.
Yep, so Grand Rapids up early, looking pretty good, and then things turned around real fast also. Max Comatose comes in and gets a power play goal, which was pretty much a big miscommunication.
Yeah, Didier blocked the shot and was basically scrambling. Definitely got a little hurt on the play.
Yep, and then Rocco Grimaldi tied the game. Yep, he's like for his 32nd, I believe.
Yeah, and he slid that one right between the legs of Hutchinson on a one-timer, basically. He got the puck right in the circle and just does what he does with it. Grimaldi's pretty effective.
So yeah, Tyler Spiza actually took a pretty bad injury. A Wolves player shoved him in the back pretty much, and he flew forward, and like in the process of his, he like tripped across Hannes, and all his weight got pushed, and it looked really bad. But thankfully, Tyler Spiza had movement in all his extremities. He's gonna be back in the lineup supposedly, so that's really good to see. Best for recovery for Tyler Spiza. I mean, that was really scary. That like, you go to watch your Griffins hockey and you expect like fun games, and having that like messed my whole night up.
Yeah, to see your guy get carted off, man, it's scary for the whole team. And you wonder if you even want to play hockey anymore, and all those things go through your head, and then 2 minutes later, you're out there playing again. And it was definitely a long period of time. Spiza was laying down on the ice face first before they even rolled him over. And I just got to say thanks to like everybody in the organization in Chicago that got him safely off the ice into the ambulance and into the hospital as fast as they could. And just great job to keep him safe. So appreciate that. Then as the Griffins, we 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. Now we're down to 10 forwards, 7 defensemen. So in a bit of a pickle, but good job on Sawchuk and Luff to kind of answer and get us up 2 after that whole incident.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And I gotta mention, we were heavily outshot in this period. 15-4. I mean, we managed to get 2 goals out of those 4 shots, so that's not bad, but that they were slamming them on us. Like, we were clearly not right after that Tyler Spiza incident. Yep, so we go to a second period, which was pretty scoreless. It was very boring, minimal shots. Neither teams could really set anything up, and I feel like at the end of that one, the Griffins finally dialed up the pressure a little bit and had the edge going into the third.
Yeah, just scoreless power plays in that one. At that point, we're 0 for 2, which seems like we're getting some chances, and then sometimes the power play is just dead. And this was a definite big case game where a really bad power play streak starts.
Yeah, so the goals in the third period, Rocco Grimaldi scores immediately to start the third with a breakaway. Soderblom kind of lost it, and Grimaldi definitely took advantage of that. There's nothing much that Hutchison could do on that. But yeah, Josh Melnick ends up scoring another goal, sends it in the Chicago zone into the empty net to end the game, and 4-2 Chicago for that game. But I saw Chuck looked pretty good. He had that breakaway and scored, but I feel like he had a couple other opportunities he couldn't just capitalize on in this game. But it's nice to see him up, and he's looking good so far.
Yeah, and again, we ended up going 0 for 5 on the power play here in this game, and that's not too good looking. Going into the end of the season here, I was hoping we'd kind of get the special teams figured out. But yeah, and at that point, everyone's wishing the best for Tyler Speezy at that point.
Wolves win 4-2, and Chicago stays alive in the hunt for the playoffs. So Saturday, March 30th, versus the Milwaukee Admirals at Panther Arena. First place versus second place matchup. They're trying to keep first place. Sebastian Kosa started for the Griffins in this one, and
Troy Grosnick. And Emmy Finney started this game. We got a good look at him. And then we had Gettinger, Spezia, and Mazer inactive.
It was kind of a lucky opportunity for him because, they probably wouldn't have gave him a start right away. They're probably just having him on the team to try out, But with all the injuries going on, he got the start, and we got to look at him. How do you feel about Finney, Kyle?
Well, I thought he looked all right. He had some very minimum playing time. He blocked a shot. I didn't see too much. It's kind of a typical experience. I mean, he's a 7th round draft pick. He came in, and we're just looking to see what he could do. I don't think he lit fire off by any means. He just kind of stepped in, did what coach asked him, and I'm sure if we see him again, great. If not, I'm sure he'll end up in Toledo or something.
First period, the goals are Kevin Wall with 12:09. Wherever he kind of reached for it with a stick almost, and it kind of got knocked right between Kosa, and they go up 1-0 Milwaukee.
Yeah, so they get the only goal, and Griffins go 0 for 3. Power play, continuing that bad streak.
Yeah, I gotta mention Shine killing off the penalty early. He looked really good, and Lombardi was flying around with insane speed. And Casper attempted a wrap around he almost got. So yeah, it was a nice, exciting first period.
Yeah, and that Shine, you're talking Shine there, he literally got high sticked and was on the ice injured. Gets no call for it, and then flies over and smokes the guy against the boards to get the puck out of the zone. So that was a great play by Shine. Period 2. No scoring. Very even match. Shots at this point were 20-18 for Milwaukee leading.
Yeah, they limited us to 6 shots. They were starting to shut down our offense a little bit. Not good on our part. Soderblom and Luff almost had a chance to score right before the end of the period. But yeah, both teams were solid defensively, and the goalies were great. Gotta say, those goalies were on fire, man.
Yeah, both penalty kills were very effective in this game so far. We go into period 3. Kind of another long, boring period where Griffins are just firing pucks on Grossnick and we can't get it past them. But eventually we get it down to the last 30 seconds. And Johansson busts a slap shot from right in the center point and gets it in the net, blows out of the back of the net. Griffins tie the game, send this thing into overtime.
Yeah, and just as I was saying, he's been looking kind of lazy tonight. Then he steps up and does that, and that's what you want in your player. Capitalize on when you make a mistake and turn around and be the hero for the night. You know what I mean? For your team. But yeah, so obviously that means we went into overtime. We ended up losing it in overtime. Joakim Kimmel slams a one-timer in the net and wins it on the power play.
Johansson got the call for a hook where they basically had the breakaway on Kosa, and Kosa has to make this incredible save. But Johansson still gets that penalty. They end up taking it, win the face-off, and blast the one-timer over the blocker. 2-1, Milwaukee wins that one.
Yeah, so
0 for 6 on that power play. Not looking good, man.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all. I mean, we have all year to figure this out, and we're still having issues with it. I don't understand. I'd like to see a little bit more from Joel Esperance, man. Like, where's that guy been?
Yeah, I don't know. Playing on the veteran line sometimes with Aston Reese and Shine, but it's been Aston Reese and Shine doing most of the dazzle work. I think he's doing a lot of the dirty work. He's been on the penalty kill, keeping the penalty kill alive and winning a lot of the face-offs.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying he's bad because, at last night's game, it was pretty, he was looking pretty good on the power play, and, he was making all the opportunities happen. It's just, it's not going in for him. But, yeah, he needs to get some scores, man. If we can get him scoring again, that's going to be good to get him hot right before these playoffs.
Yeah, he was our number one goal scorer last year, and he was leading us at some point this year. So it's definitely a big thing to have him hot and scoring goals. He's a right-handed shot, and we like to see what he can do when he gets going. We play Chicago again. And it's another winning Wednesday where hopefully everyone that won last Wednesday returned, because it was a pretty packed Wednesday with a very loud crowd. It was Berggren's 300th game. In net, we have Kosa versus Antti Ranta.
Yes, and Antti Ranta is obviously a NHL caliber goalie. He's played with the Carolina Hurricanes and a couple other teams, but yeah, he's down in Chicago, and man, was he good.
Yeah, and tonight we had Gettinger inactive again, and Vero was inactive as well, and obviously Skizia still probably not going to be back for a while. The Kosa and Ranta show begins, and there's no scoring. We had a couple great plays where Hannes has a great steal, gets a pass over to Sawchuk. Sawchuk just can't capitalize on the wide open net. And then we get some good Finney defense in this game. We get to see him down in the van.
Yeah, and then Dominic Shine got a tripping penalty in there. We killed that one off successfully, and we outshot Chicago 8-7, and yeah, pretty uneventful first.
Period 2. Scoring starts to open up a little bit. Fitzgerald gets a pass across from Grimaldi, of course, and 1-0 Chicago. And the I Hate Chicago song plays.
Yep. And then not much longer after that, about 2 minutes later around, Jonatan Berggren gets his first of the night. His 21st of the year from Radim Shanik and Carter Mazer.
Yeah, and another great snipe from literally right at mid slot. Just fires it right in. Great play by Berggren.
Yeah, so Josh Melnick then comes in and scores his 7th of the year, assisted by Rocco Grimaldi once again. And
Yeah, and I'm a little bit
Chris
curious
Terry.
on this one. I don't like this one going in. I felt like Coastal was definitely pushed before the puck got there, and they did not call goaltender interference. So
yeah, which was bull crap. It is what it is. You can't change it. So Chicago's up 2-1, and then the Griffins get a power play, and you think everything's gonna turn around, but short-handed Corey Conacher scores. He got his 7th of the year, short-handed, like I said, and Griffins are down big now.
yeah, 1-3, and in a hole going into the third period, and 0 for 3 on their power play again. And I think at this point it's like 14 power plays in a row we haven't scored.
I can't even begin to think of how many times we've just talked about the power play. So, you know what I mean? All year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Griffins were definitely getting the majority of the shots in that one. We outshot them 15-5, but they just capitalized on those opportunities. Like the shorthanded one should never happen. It was just, and then the goalie interference one. That wasn't goalie
Yeah,
interference.
and
I mean,
you
just
can't
rough
really blame
bounce to the
Costa.
DR.
Yeah,
No, it's
for
just
sure.
they're getting. It's not going their way. So third period comes up, and Jonatan Berggren gets his 2nd of the night for his 22nd goal of the year, assisted by Marco Casper and Carter Mazer. And that was immediately into the third.
Yeah, and beautiful pass by Casper getting that puck. It almost looked like he tried to do the lacrosse move, and he sent it right through the crease, and Berggren's wide open on the other side. He definitely got the defense's attention when he looked for that lacrosse move. So that's fun to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Smart play by Casper.
Yep, and then not much more than 3 minutes later, Matt Luff gets one. His 7th of the year, assisted by Amo and Ante Tuamisto.
Yeah, and it's another one of those crafty Lombardi setups. So good job, man, getting those pucks over. Luff putting them in. You know, Luff likes to score those goals. Game is tied now, 3-3.
So Chris Terry breaks the tie on the power play, gets his 18th, the former Grand Rapids Griffin, assisted by Dominic Fresno and Rocco Grimaldi again. Yeah, they just had a good power play, and they're feeling pretty good about themselves. So, gets to that point, we're going to have to pull our goalie. We pull our goalie. You know, we're all thinking, dang, we're going to lose. About 12 seconds on the clock, Jonatan Berggren scores for his 3rd of the night for his first Hattie. Gets his 23rd of the year, and assisted by Brogan Rafferty, game's tied.
Yeah, lit Van Andel up. Berggren, that one was amazing. Hats off to you. That was a beautiful one, man. You really pulled this game out of the dumps, and I know it's a whole team effort, and you said it yourself. Probably the only hat trick you get because you like to let other people get the hat trick. So, great job there.
Congratulations.
We'll go to OT.
But it was funny because at the beginning of the game, I'm like, we got to get Bergie 30 down here, man. We don't have any 30 goal scorers because we're talking about Rocco Grimaldi having 30. And I was like, well, if he gets a hat trick tonight and gets a point a game, he actually might be on pace if he gets another hat trick. Just kidding. Obviously not, dude. But he could maybe get to 30. That'd be really cool to see him get there. I mean, keep pushing, Berggren. Like, don't let anyone tell you can't do it, man.
Yeah, definitely keep on going. Get those goals, man. All the hat tricks you want. So, going into overtime, Berggren tries to get himself his 4th goal of the game, but ends up getting denied on a breakaway. Puck bounces loose, and Brogan Rafferty cleans it up. Griffins win. Van explodes again. It was awesome. An amazing game on a Wednesday.
Yeah, we had the whole family out and a rowdy crowd last week. We had them all back, plus more people this week. And it was fun. It was a blast for me. That was one of my best games this year. There's been a lot of fun, memorable nights at the Van Andel this year. And I gotta thank everyone in the organization and everyone involved in the Griffins to make this whole season so fun. It's been an absolute blast. But yeah, so let's get into that DraftKings read.
We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code THPN. New customers bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved.
The Grand Rapids Griffins, in 65 games played, are 34-19, 8-4, with 80 points. They are second in the Central Division of the Western Conference of the AHL. The rest of the division goes first place, the Milwaukee Admirals with 86 points. In second place, the Grand Rapids Griffins with 80 points. In third place, the Rockford Ice Hogs with 73 points, which are now clinched also. The first 3 teams are clinched. Texas Stars are in fourth place with 68 points. The Manitoba Moose are in fifth place with 61 points. In sixth place, the Iowa Wild with 54 points, tied with the Chicago Wolves with 54 points also. It's just a matter of time until Texas is clinched up, and Manitoba will probably clinch that out. Wolves have had a valiant effort, I gotta say. They beat us once, brought it to overtime with us. I mean, getting every point they can, but Manitoba is just not letting them catch them, and Iowa's right there, and they're not going down either. So Stars are probably not going to fall out at this point. They'll probably be clinched soon, and yeah, there's one spot left, and the Manitoba is sitting 7 points ahead of them too. So
yeah, and with Rockford clinching and Texas still kind of not making a full comeback here at the end, it's very likely we're going to play Rockford in the second round after a first round bye, where Texas and Manitoba are probably going to be scrapping off to see who makes it into our final four of our division.
And I just wanted to also mention, in the league, we are sitting at 7th place. We are in the top 10. We are looking really good. You know, the teams above us are the Hershey Bears, and they're obviously way above everyone with 103 points. The Coachella Valley Firebirds with 91. Then the Admirals with 86. The Bruins with 84. The Province Bruins. The Syracuse Crunch with 82, and the Ontario Reign, yep, with 81, and then we're sitting there at 80. So we're in 7th, so all those dudes are above us, and we're sitting good. A bunch of the teams below, though, are like 1 point, 2 points, 3 points away, all the way down to 15th. So lose a couple games, that can all change. But it's nice to see us in the top 10, man. I was hoping top 15. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the year you said you thought we were going to be in the top 10.
Yeah, and that was my optimistic look, and here we are. I think we're all feeling very happy, especially after being depleted last season and basically rejected a playoff opportunity, and we're back live and strong. And the teams above us are definitely going to be some harsh competition. Like, we're talking Hershey, Coachella Valley, Providence. Those teams are not going to be easy to take down. So,
no, definitely not, man.
it'll be interesting to see what happens once we actually, if we do make it past Rockford, who we end up playing. Most likely Milwaukee. And like, who would we end up with after that? What team do you think we would be able to beat?
I think we'd probably, I don't know, we'd be playing like the Rain or the Firebirds or the Roadrunners or the Eagles. You never know. It's gonna be tough this year. I'd like to see us win a round or two. We were way too talented to just fall out in the first round, but I mean, it's looking like we'll probably play the Rockford Ice Hogs. I mean, it can all change here, but yeah, it's crazy. They'll be ready to play. I mean, a series against the team is a lot different than just playing a game. But all right, let's get into the hot and cold.
All right, so today, hot and cold. I think it's pretty easy to say who's hot today.
Yep, I'm gonna go with Jonathan Berggren.
Yeah, that's an easy pick.
He got his hat trick.
Definitely on fire.
He got sent down from Detroit because obviously we could use him for the playoffs, and Yzerman's not going to want to terminate that contract. We went over it last episode. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously proven his point down here. I would really like to see them work out a contract agreement in the offseason. But yeah, he is on fire. Got his first hat trick. It'd be really cool to see him get to 30. But yeah, he's a huge piece for this team to continue deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, nothing short of excellence for Berggren right now. After we got hot, we can pick someone who is cold.
So I usually don't pick on the new guy, but I'm kind of picking on the new guy. I'm gonna say Curtis Hall, just because he hasn't done much at all, and he's had some turnovers, and I just don't think he's gonna stick for long. Up here, he'd probably get sent back down to Toledo, or I don't know.
I believe he's on loan. He's the player we got from the McIsaac exchange, so I believe he's on just a loan right now. But it is like he had 11 games for Providence, and he put up 6 points. And now in 6 games for us, he hasn't done anything. So I don't know. Maybe it's just not a good fit for him here. Maybe he just hasn't figured it out yet. I mean, you can see how long it took all the veterans for us to kind of get the team going in the first half of the season. Now that all of our guys are hot, ready to go, they're all performing. But Curtis Hall, just haven't seen him do too much yet.
But yeah, I mean, you can't expect too much of a new guy. I mean, look at like dudes like Cross Hannes. You know, he got surrounded by all this talent, and like we saw what he did last year. He was really good last year, and everyone's saying he's like degraded, but no, it's just like only so many points can get scored, and we got all these dudes stepping up.
Yeah, I'll just kind of mention Vero in here. We haven't seen a whole lot from Vero lately. He's been scratched a lot, and there's just a couple newcomers coming in. I think we're getting some looks, but honestly, on our 7 defensemen nights where we do run all 7 defensemen, we've been good. So he's been clean, but I would like to see Vero maybe take a step or two and get some points, or just kind of continue to excel defensively.
I mean, he made some really big goal saves and some really good breakups on like 3-on-1s, and he's done some really good stuff. If we could just get that to be more consistent, he could step in a way bigger role next season. All right, let's do that random number generator.
All right, so today our random player is number 17, Taro Hirose. This is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one. We need to talk about Hirose.
What are you throwing him on?
Hot. Hirose's been great. He's had quite a few points in the last couple games. I couldn't tell you exactly what his numbers are there. This is random. But Hirose, man, he's got 9 goals, 26 assists for 35 points. He's definitely in the top of the pack as far as points for our team. And that's in less games than practically everybody as well, because he was injured in the middle of the season. So definitely huge to see him back on the plus side of the plus minus. I know he was around on the ice a lot for the first half of the season when we were getting scored on a lot. So he's definitely been way more of a positive impact since his return from injury.
Yeah, and he's like you were saying, he's second on points on the team, just behind Berggren by a ways, but obviously Berggren's on fire. You know, he's got 53 and Hirose's got 35, and Taro Hirose is the second best on our team with points. So he's great, man. And then he's always like, he's not getting all the goals, but man, he's taking these shots and they're getting deflected in, or they touch another player and go in. I mean, without that kind of play out there, like, a lot of our goals wouldn't be there. So he's a huge member of this team. And yeah, I agree. He is hot.
Yeah, I feel like we don't talk about Hirose enough. He does kind of mention, because he is just so consistently a positive performer for us. So definitely glad to see his number pop up in that.
So, all right. So we're going to get into our wings around the world. We're going to get into like 10 prospects today. Not necessarily like the top ranked 10 or anything. Just like we're going to talk about 10 of the prospects, because it's part of the pipeline also. All the other players, you know, you got the Griffins, the Walleye, and then you got the other players too, like from overseas and college and all that stuff. So we're just going to go over some of those other prospects real quick, and we don't know a whole lot about them, really. You know, we don't really watch them. We watch the Griffins a lot, so I mean, we know what we're talking about when it comes to the Griffins. We're just kind of like looking at stuff and stats here for these guys. So like, if anyone does know and ever wants to come on and give us an update about some other countries or anything like that, or college hockey, just let us know, and we'll definitely like to hear it. So
yeah, and feel free to use the call-in line to let us know about players and how they're doing. We'd really appreciate any help we can get. Because, yeah, when you watch probably 150 hockey games a year, you know, try to catch all the Red Wings and Griffins game, and then however many other games you watch. And we're definitely trying to just get the basis on what these players are, and maybe some of these players could end up on the Griffins. So that's why we're trying to let you know who's out there.
Yep. And our call-in number is 1-616-319-1175. You pretty much just call in and you'll have the direction there right there. You just leave a voice message and let us know what you feel about the Griffins, and hang up when you're done recording, and yeah, we'll play you on the show. Whoever has the best call is gonna get signed Jonatan Berggren puck. So call in, guys.
All right, to start this whole roundup of wings around the world, who do you want to cover first?
I think I'm gonna go with Nate Danielson. So Nate Danielson was selected by the Detroit Red Wings in the 2023 NHL draft in the first round, number 9 overall. He is 19 years old. He was born in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. And he is a center. He is 6'2", 187 pounds, and he shoots right-handed. But he currently plays for the Portland Winterhawks. He's played 28 games for 12 goals with 29 assists and 41 points. But yeah, so he got traded to the Portland Winterhawks recently, about halfway through the season almost, from the Brandon Wheat Kings. The Portland Winterhawks are a more contending team, so it's good to see him go to a team that can contend with a lot more talent. The Brandon Wheat Kings weren't quite as good of a contending team. He was really good on that team. He was like their best guy. If you watched his highlights, a lot of his highlights were him passing to a bunch of other people and them not being able to adjust and do this or score or make the opportunity work. So he pretty much has gotten praise from every coach or organization he's been with. All of them say that he's a budding superstar, that he'll be amazing in the future. And not Connor McDavid, but Connor Bedard said that Nate Danielson was the hardest player to play against in the WHL. So a lot of praise from everyone. I hope he's as good as everyone says he is, and I hope to see him in Grand Rapids this year. Well, next year. He could possibly go to Detroit, but I doubt it. I don't think that's the route Steve Yzerman will take. But yeah. What do you got to say about him?
Nate Danielson in the playoffs this year has got 4 games and has 6 points with 5 assists, just 1 goal. But you can see that him being on the Winterhawks, players are able to score his assists more. So 5 assists for him. But I'm really excited to see Ginger Larks out there, and we'll kind of see what happens with the whole where he starts next year. He could, like you said, just slide up and we'd never get to see him. He's that caliber, just like Raymond, but time will tell. With no COVID season, it might be smart to get him some warm-up time in the AHL in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, so Axel Sandin Pellikka is our next guy we're going to go to. Axel Sandin Pellikka was selected in the 2023 draft in the first round. He was selected 17th overall by the Detroit Red Wings. So 2 first-round picks that year. He is 19 years old. He was born in Gällivare, Sweden. He plays defense. He's a smaller sized kind of guy. He's 5'11", and he is 181 pounds. And he shoots right. So a right-handed smaller guy who can pretty much, he's got that offensive ability, something kind of like Makar-ish. He's definitely a really high-touted prospect.
Yeah, so he's playing over in the SHL this year. He's been at Skellefteå. I'm sorry if I murdered that. Skellefteå AIK, where he's played 39 games. He has 10 goals, 8 assists for 18 points, and 10 goals as a defenseman. That's looking pretty good. I like to see that. There in the playoffs, he's got 4 games played, got 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points.
Yeah, and he's really a workhorse. He had more points than any defenseman almost ever, breaking records, and then he went down with a pretty bad injury, and he just came back, and his production kind of slowed down a little bit. They weren't trying to re-injure him. But now he's back, and it's pretty much playoff time, and he had, there's one game he played 40 minutes, and, it went into overtime, and I'm pretty sure he won the game with a goal. But, yeah, he's definitely going to be a huge contributor in the future for Detroit. And I would assume we see him in Grand Rapids next year. I mean, I don't think he's going to jump. I mean, it's possible he stays in the SHL too, but I hope not. I hope to see him in Grand Rapids because Simon Evanson's Detroit. He's going to stick. So we're going to need some more talent down here on the defense, and he's a different kind of player than Slider or Edmonton or any of those other guys. He's more of he can score. He's a smaller, quicker guy who can sneak. It's just he's an interesting prospect. Not your typical Yzerman mold, but he's almost got that Rafalski type ability to score in the SHL I've seen so far this year. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's exciting to see. I think we can go on to our third prospect here. We'll talk about Trey Augustine. Trey Augustine's been playing in the NCAA. He's playing for the Michigan State Spartans and just got eliminated against the Michigan Wolverines in rivalry fashion, where he played 35 games for the Spartans this year. He had a goals against average of 2.96 and a save percentage of .915. So definitely some good numbers out of Augustine. A lot of hype surrounding him getting nominated for awards. Really solid pick, it looks like, turned out to be. And these are all 3 picks from this year. Augustine was the 2nd round pick, the 41st pick of the draft.
Yeah, and you got Kosa, who's more of the big athletic guy. So he's more of he's 6'1", 179 pounds. He's more of the smaller, agile guy. You know what I mean? And he's impressed me so far, definitely, with his technical abilities, and he's sound, and he's his awareness is incredible. It's crazy. But yeah, it's nice to have him. Hopefully, have him. I'm seeing he's gonna have another year of MSU probably. He said he would be back. He said they would be back, so I think that he's pretty much saying he's going to go back to MSU for one more year. And yeah, if not, I feel like Kosa has the reins here in GR for another season. Maybe he comes up near the end of the year after the playoffs, around this time. Then you have Kosa and Augustine together as a incredible tandem. And then, Kosa moves on up to the Red Wings, and Augustine takes over the job. And that's the best perfect scenario you could really hope for. But yeah, he's a great prospect. I'm really excited for him.
Yeah, and I got to mention, Michigan handed it to him in the tournament, but they did win the Big Ten championship with Augustine against Michigan. So that can go both ways there.
So let's get into our next guy.
Dmitry Bachelnikov.
So yeah, he is the best Russian player in points besides Michkov. And Michkov he's obviously the guy that was up there with Connor Bedard, but his draft stock fell because of the whole situation going on in Russia and whatnot. So yeah, but he's a really big prospect. If we can, obviously you can't come over for a while if you're in Russia, so he'll be developing over there, and hopefully he can come over here and wants to come over here, because every time, like, there's just a huge risk in picking a Russian player. So, but yeah, I really hope we get him because he could be like a really big scorer for us.
Yeah, Bachelnikov's been in the KHL playing for Admiral Vladivostok, where he has 55 games played this year, and he has 29 points. Been an offensive threat.
Definitely. Yeah, and he was picked in the second round in 2022, 52 overall by the Red Wings. Yeah, very interesting guy. So, yep, we'll move on to our next guy. We got Shea Byam.
Yeah, another NCAA prospect playing for the University of Denver. Shea Byam is also in the Frozen Four again this year. He's played 41 games for Denver this year. He has 7 goals, 28 assists for 35 points. Those are some rather good numbers. And yeah, we look to continue seeing him in the tournament playing against these other teams, like possibly Michigan again.
Yeah, and he was selected in the second round also, 36 overall in 2021. So, and he's another one of those big-bodied guys. He's a 6'3", 220 pounds. He's 21 years old, and yeah, he's a left-handed defenseman. So he's another one of those guys that we could like to have here in GR, to fill in that spot losing Edmondson.
Being that second pick, he is the player we picked right after Edmondson and Kosa. So, and played with Mazer and Tuomisto in the University of Denver. So definitely some chemistry to be had there.
Yeah, that'll be really cool once he gets to Grand Rapids. If he does, you never guarantee anything, but I'd like to see him in GR. So yep, let's get to our next guy. Andrew Gibson, we're gonna go with.
Yeah, Andrew Gibson is over playing in the OHL. We picked him up in this year's draft, where he was a second round. He's playing in the OHL for the Sioux Greyhounds. He's got 60 games played this year. He's got 12 goals, 32 assists, 44 points. Those are some good numbers over there in the OHL.
Yeah, for sure. And he's another big-bodied guy. He's 6'3", he's a little skinnier than Biome is, but he's a right-handed shot. He's 19 years old, and yeah, I'm excited to see what he becomes.
Yeah, and you just love seeing 44 points as a defenseman. Those are good numbers to have. Definitely would like to see him someday. It might be a couple of years because he was out of this year's draft, but definitely someone we're going to continue to watch.
Our next guy, Dylan James.
Yeah, Dylan James was another second-round pick. He was the pick after Marco Kasper in the 2022 draft, the 40th overall pick. He is playing in the NCAA for the University of North Dakota. He had 40 games played this year. He had 9 goals, 10 assists for 19 points. Yep, so University of North Dakota was eliminated by Michigan in the semifinals of the tournament. And yeah, Dylan James being a second round pick, he's definitely someone that has a chance to make it to the Griffins. And we just got Johannes, who is one of the other winger on the other side of Dylan James. Johannes, we got to get a good look at him. Hopefully we'll get a couple more games of him because he looked pretty nice out there.
So our next guy will be Red Savage.
Yeah, another State Spartan. Red Savage was picked in the 4th round at number 114. He was our 4th round pick after Carter Mazur in the 21 draft. Red Savage put up 38 games for the Spartans this year, 10 goals, 17 assists for 27 points.
He's got the best name out of all of our prospects, I gotta say.
Yeah, if he does get it to the wings, man. Red Savage, good one.
Heck yeah.
I believe it's short for Redmond.
I like Red Savage.
So we'll talk about Anton Johansson next, who has spent some time SHL this year. Anton Johansson was a 4th round pick in the 22 draft at number 105.
Yeah, he is another. He's 19 years old. He is another big-bodied defenseman. He's a right-handed guy. He is 6'4", 196 pounds. So another big body on the right. Johansson and Johansson. Imagine them guys together. The Johansson line. You know, one of them's left, one of them's right.
Playing for Leksand's IF this year, he's got 46 games, 3 goals and 5 assists for Anton Johansson, 8 points. And playoffs, he has 7 games where he has 2 goals, 2 assists, and 4 points in those clutch games.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice to see people who can really step up when it is where it matters the absolute most.
Noah and Liam Dower Nielsen here. We'll talk about Noah. He is the younger brother. He was a 3rd round pick, the 73rd in this year's draft. He is playing mainly in the junior league, but has got some time in the SHL playing for Frölunda, where he's played 5 games. He's got point and assist, or a goal, assist for 2 points. And it's good to see him kind of scratching that professional surface there.
Well, you got dudes like Soderblom and Edmondson from Frölunda.
And then Liam Dower Nielsen is playing for IF Borgsleden. I'm sure I killed that one too. In the Hockey Allsvenskan League, where he has 52 games, 12 goals, 15 assists for 27 points. He is as well in the playoffs with 4 games. He's got a goal, 4 assists for 5 points. Looking good there on Liam Dower Nielsen's part.
Yeah, it's nice to see 2 brothers in our organization because we really don't have that with anyone. We had like the Giovanni Smith and Jamel Smith for like a game. So that was cool, I guess. But like, I'd like to see like 2 brothers like on our team like that are dominant. That'd be really cool to see those guys step up and do that, or at least be like a 4th line grind team. You know what I mean? Together, it'd be cool.
Yeah, be good.
Yep. But yeah, that'll wrap us up for our prospect things. We really don't know too much about these guys, so we definitely want to try to get some other people to come on and talk about them. So if you do know a lot about certain prospects, we'd love to have you on. So like direct message us or call in, like we said. But all right, let's get to the injury report. Obviously, we mentioned Tyler Spiza earlier. Apparently he's going to return to the lineup. We just don't know when. Probably be a while. And then Tim Gettinger is still injured. So pipeline movement, we got Evanson's in Detroit. He's pretty much staying in Detroit. He is eligible. Once Detroit is eliminated from the NHL, he could come down and play in the playoffs for us, which is awesome. Zarnik's been up there. He's been playing really good. Aston Reese went up and down. He's back down. Berggren's down in Grand Rapids. Riley Sawchuk is in Grand Rapids. And then we got that new guy from North Dakota. And yeah, that's pretty much all the movement. Johannes, yes.
And yeah, that's a lot of movement going on. it doesn't really feel like the team has been taking a hit at all. We've had enough depth to get through the end of the season, whereas last year it's like if one guy got injured, the whole team fell apart.
But nice, that should bring us right to the penalty box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the penalty box we take is our one chance to step out of hockey and talk about anything to leave it off on a fun note. You can pick one idiot and throw them in the penalty box, and you can either give them a 2-minute minor, 4-minute major, well, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, 10-minute game misconduct. But yeah, so Kyle, who are you throwing in the box today?
Well, considering how difficult it is to get out of the Ottawa Fulton parking ramp, I gotta throw Ellis Parking in the parking lot because they gotta figure something out to get people out of that place, and people will start losing their minds trying to back their cars into each other. It's a disaster, especially if you're not there early and you have to park closer to the top. I mean, just plan on an hour. You might as well just not even go to your car. Go out, go for drinks, go get some food because you're not getting out of that parking ramp. Your car is going to be for probably 2 hours after the game, and they gotta figure out a way to move that along.
You're gonna put them in the parking ramp, in the parking lot. What? So they can experience it firsthand.
Yeah, let's literally put them in the parking ramp. Basically, a 2-hour ride in the penalty box. So,
All right, throw them in the parking lamp. All right, so I'm gonna just go at just basic society, everyone out there in the world. Pretty much the people when you know you're going down the road and you pass them and you wave at them, and not like they don't wave back because they don't see you, but those people who like glare into your soul and like don't wave back purposely and they think I'm better than that person. Like that's a 5-minute major. Like have fun in the box, man. Like the fact that all these people think that they're better than people, that's just a bad attitude to have. So I'll just keep waving at everyone because that's just kind of the kind of person I am. But yeah, have fun in the box if you're that kind of person. Like someone waves at you and for some reason you gotta not wave back at them and like stare at them like you're better than them. That's just like no one's better than anyone else. So stop with that nonsense. 5 minutes.
yeah, don't be looking down on people. Lift each other up. Let's go, guys. Like, we're all in this world together. Not trying to get all hippy dippy on you, but a little bit of love goes a long ways out there. So keep a smile on,
For sure.
wave back to each other. Pretty good conversation with a stranger. Spread the love, man.
All right, so the Griffins got some upcoming games. We're gonna get the Friday, April 5th. The Griffins play the Ice Hogs at the Van Andel, and Saturday, April 6th, the Griffins play the Ice Hogs at the BMO Center. We'll probably wrap those two up in just a quick game review episode, and then we'll get back on track to every week. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. Thank you, Hockey Podcast Network, for making this possible for us. We are sponsored by DraftKings. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We really appreciate it. We couldn't do this without you. Our goal was to maybe have 100 followers or something by the end of the year. We're doing it for fun and whatnot, but we got fan interaction and everything that we possibly wanted from it, and that's all we really wanted is just to get fan interaction, and we just have a fun time doing it. So thank you everyone for being involved. So we do a giveaway every month for our fans. well, not our fans, our followers, the fans of the Griffins. We don't want fans. You know, we are not worthy of fans. We're just telling you info. But yeah, so our giveaway, we're giving away a signed Jonatan Berggren puck. And how to get that, you're going to have to call in to 1-616-319-1175, and you can leave an opinion about the Griffins. You pretty much you make up a name, a fun name. Let us know where you're from. If you're in Grand Rapids, let us know what part of Grand Rapids. Thank you, everyone. Call in. We'd like to hear some cool stuff. And yeah, I think that pretty much should wrap us up, right?
Yeah, I think one big thing is Tyler Spezia. Gotta keep him in mind as we move forward. You know, that was a rough situation. Hopefully Tyler Spezia's condition improves, and hopefully he can get back out there and play some hockey to finish this year out, because he's an important part of this team. He does a lot for us, and his veteran leadership is something greatly needed. So, all best wishes to Tyler Spezia, and again, thank you to all the fans and everyone that supports us. It means a lot. We are very much so overwhelmed with the support we've got, and it gets more exciting to see every week. So, the hotter the Griffins get, the funner this whole thing is getting for us too. So, get down to the van. Hopefully, we'll catch you at some playoff games, because we are clinched, baby. Let's go.
Woo! Yep. Go Griffins. Go Red Wings. Go Walleye.
Go Griffins. Go Red.